So again, thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life for justice.
I love
I wonder why the White House isn't also coming to the defense of Representative Waters, given the fact that she's now facing an onslaught of attacks, especially by...
In case you didn't know, hard hats are actually unisex. Everybody's laughing.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, Habibis? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Jay Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros, and welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour. Now, first of all, Habibis, I have to apologize. Jay and I were going to come up with a cold open, but it was 420. We got high as shit, so we actually didn't come up with anything.
No, not at all. I had 3 puffs last night, and I was out.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, given the fact how the list has absolutely been destroying us, and we did a list stream last night, I figured, rather than putting out something bad, we would just figure we would not put out anything.
Right.
So, how you doing, Habibi?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I did have a really good sleep last night after the 3 puffs. It's been a long time since I smoked. But the funny thing is, I ate half a pizza afterwards and 16 tacos. So this morning, that was that was a lot of fun.
Did you tell Ryan that that's your method for getting the poop out?
What, the Taco Bell?
Yeah, just tell him.
That's
Just tell him you need to eat half a pizza and 16 tacos from Taco Bell. Did you go to Taco Bell?
No, I did. That's where I go. I mean, and tonight I haven't eaten anything all day. And I'm going to finish half this bottle like I promised. So I'm going straight to Taco Bell afterwards.
Yeah. Well, Eric comes in here and says, "Where's my neighborhood knife fight?"
Oh,
we're gonna get into that in a little bit. Very first up, actually, it's kind of weird. We are going into a lot of stories. We're covering fewer stories tonight, but we're going deeper into them, and hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit more nuance when it comes to this stuff. And we actually, thankfully, inshallah, because we have a new intern, Spencer Sachs, who is a university student. He just joined us like yesterday, and already we're putting him to work. So he got us a ton of tweets that we'll be going through over the next 69 to 90 minutes. But the very first story we want to cover, obviously, is this trial, this case. Derek Chauvin was found guilty on all counts Tuesday for causing George Floyd's death. This coming from NBC News, a verdict that could send a disgraced former Minneapolis police officer to prison for the rest of his life. Chauvin, who was convicted of 2nd and 3rd degree murder, as well as 2nd degree manslaughter, stood up quickly after the judge ordered his bail revoked and compliantly placed his hands to be handcuffed before he was led out of the courtroom. He faces up to 75 years in prison when he returns for sentencing in 8 weeks. And now, however, under Minnesota law, the sentences are likely to run concurrently, meaning Chauvin would serve no more than 40 years in prison. Chauvin, who I believe is in his 40s now, that would put him in his 80s. So there is a slim chance that he could be let out of prison by the time he's in a walker. But Jay, we were talking about it briefly last night. We didn't really share a whole lot of our thoughts because we were still processing what was happening. What was your immediate takeaway from all this?
Good. The first one was good, that he actually got a guilty verdict on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to pretend like I know the ins and outs of law, and especially in Minnesota, where I don't live, and whether or not it's going to get appealed, whether or not it's going to stick, whether or not any of that kind of stuff. But the first and foremost thing is that the murderer got a guilty verdict. And that was what was going through my mind, that anything anything less than guilty on at least one of the charges would have been unjust, in my opinion, because he did kill him. He killed George, and he should pay for it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm with you on that because, if the medical examiner report, I mean, yes, George Floyd had fentanyl in the system, but that wasn't what killed him. What killed him was the police pressure on his neck from Derek Chauvin's knee. That was on there for 8 minutes and 42 seconds. That was the catalyst between life and death. So I know there are a lot of people who disagree with this verdict, and they'll appeal it. And over the course of the last few days before the actual verdict, the judge of the case highlighted Representative Maxine Waters' comments, saying that they were going to get more confrontational. And I'm curious whether that was going to be something that was going to be used in the appeal process. I mean, they're going to appeal it. I just worry that if they appeal it, you're going to spark an even bigger powder keg, and you might see the type of. Now, this is obviously no reason to handle a case in one way or the other, but obviously one of the things that comes into play is, will it cause even more unrest if Derek Chauvin is found, he has his conviction overturned, and that is a real possibility.
It is.
So,
and I think Maxine Waters and Biden, they overplayed themselves. I mean, if you had Trump say a statement like Biden did over an ongoing case, you wouldn't have heard the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't have. And Biden coming out and saying what he did about the case was, I think, very ill-advised on his part. Because I don't want to see Derek walk. That is honestly the worst case scenario, especially if they go and overturn it, all this, they follow the law and blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. He doesn't deserve to walk. He doesn't.
The medical examiner who ruled George Floyd's death a homicide testified about a couple of weeks ago that Floyd's heart disease and drug use contributed to his death, but police officers' restraint of his body and compression of his neck were the primary causes. This is coming from Dr. Andrew Baker, who had been the chief medical examiner in Hennepin County since 2004. He said that Floyd had severe underlying heart disease and an enlarged heart that needed more oxygen than normal to function, as well as narrowing of his coronary arteries. Baker did not include a lack of oxygen or asphyxia as a cause of Floyd's death. Baker said that before he conducted the autopsy, he was aware that Floyd had become unconscious while he was in police custody and had died at a hospital. He said he did not look at videos of Floyd's death, including the bystander video that went viral, until after the autopsy was complete, so as to not be biased in his findings. So asphyxia obviously is that the lack of oxygen. That's not included in or I guess that's not the main one, but the pressure on his neck from the police officer is the primary cause. So I guess, this is why I'm not a doctor, Jay. This is why Bubba's disappointed in me.
This is where it shows why Bubba is disappointed to you. You're not a doctor? Oh, it makes sense.
Yeah, not a doctor. Yeah. But yeah, no, there's a good chance that this will probably be over. There is definitely going to be an appeal process for this. That is, of course, Derek Chauvin's been held in solitary confinement for 23 hours a day in Minnesota's only maximum security prison after he was convicted of murdering George Floyd. Considering the political nature of, not the political nature, but the polarized nature of this particular death, if anyone got their hands or got near Derek Chauvin, I'm sure he's probably got security around him because someone would try definitely to kill him.
Absolutely. He's
essentially.
need it. 100%.
Anyways, we got some really bad tweets. Well, let's just go through some of these tweets because I think it's important to just look through them. Shout out to Spencer for getting us all these tweets, and thank God for the Habibi Bros account, which does make sure that I can get around every single block that exists. So
for now.
for now. So Tennessee Holla tweets, every cop should be given one question test. Are you angry about the Derek Chauvin verdict? If they say yes, they shouldn't be carrying a badge and a gun. That seems kind of rudimentary and black and white, because you could be angry about the verdict and still as a police officer, there are many ways. I'm sure there are many people who are angry about the Derek Chauvin verdict, even those who agreed with the verdict. I mean, as an example, there's a tweet coming up here. Where am I? This one. This makes me angry. Look at this. You got BLM protesters line dancing in Washington, D.C. to celebrate the murder conviction against Derek Chauvin. Like, how are you celebrating a murder conviction? Like, this is not a chance. This is not a time to celebrate. This is a man is unnecessarily dead, and you're out here dancing like you just won the fucking election.
It's really horrible watching these things happen in real time. It's like they overplay it. They always overplay it. No matter what it is that is happening, they'll overplay it. And then you also have the politicians overplaying this as well, making statements and promises that they're not going to keep. This is just, It's ridiculous. It really, really is.
Yeah. Jordan Lethal says, you're basically just Pakistani James O'Keefe now.
Which is fucking, just to bring a point onto that, it's fucking hilarious that that's what they banned him over. It really is.
What did they ban him over again? What did they ban him again?
They say that he's using multiple accounts to artificially start a conversation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. But it's funny because you got to be careful.
Yeah. I guess I got to be careful. Anyways, next up, we got Gavin Newsom, whose wife actually made the list. Oh, God, I just took it down. Gavin Newsom tweets, George Floyd will still be alive if he looked like me. That must change. No conviction can repair the harm done to the Floyd family, but today's verdict provides accountability. Now we must continue our work to root out the racial injustice that haunts our society. You know, Jay, I've seen this word accountability a lot, and it's not because of LeBron James. I've seen it before that because we had I've seen Instagram live video of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez literally saying that this isn't justice, this is accountability. And I'm starting to wonder, well, what exactly is justice? Are we just going to keep moving the goalposts on what justice is and is not?
Well, of course, because they want, when you look at the critical race theory and you look at what it is that they're looking to implement, there's no justice until everything is dismantled and they put up a system that they want implemented in place. And it's a system that really calls for equity other than equality. Mm-hmm. So there's not going to be any justice until they get that. And that is something that is always going to move. That's never going to be the case. Nobody is going to end up 100% equal, essentially. So it's never going to happen. They're always going to be chasing this idea of equity and this idea of how people are supposed to be on the exact same level and the exact same playing field and all this kind of stuff. And they're going to use race as an excuse to get there. So they're going to dance on the grave of a black man, and then they're going to dance on the grave of the conviction, if he goes through it, in order to get what they want. And that's the disgusting part about it.
So here's the quote in question. AOC is saying on her Instagram live, this isn't justice. Justice is George Floyd going home to his family tonight. That part is actually true. Justice would be George Floyd actually being alive and going home tonight. But then she goes on to say that I don't want this to be framed as a system working because it's not working. It's really important that this verdict is not used as a replacement for policy change. Now, I will just go on and say that justice is in place. Our criminal justice is in place for the people who are wronged, for the people who are harmed by others, by the government, by the state, by other people, private citizens, you name it. And it does the best it can to rectify the wrong that befalls certain people. In this case, George Floyd and his family. And we'll see how the appeals process goes through. Right. But this is our justice system at work here. I mean, you are ruled by a jury of your peers to basically, we're going to probably talk about some of these really awful tweets, because I know there's a senior CNN legal analyst, Laura Coates. I don't have the tweet on hand, but
those are the best. When you have these fake legal analysis that are on CNN, they're not there to give you their expertise on what is going on. They're there to push a narrative. And
so this is the tweet. She says, defense begins the closing by defining reasonable doubt, not with why Derek Chauvin is innocent. Think about that. They don't have to prove that you're innocent until proven guilty in this country, in our criminal justice system. So they have to just prove that he's not guilty of the crime, not innocent of it. There's two completely different things, and I can't believe this person is actually a legal analyst. I mean, this is someone I think who was actually at the Department of Justice. Yeah, former Department of Justice.
She was in the DA.
There's a reason probably why our criminal justice system is so broken.
It's because we have these fucks. It's really insane, and that's also the hit on the point like AOC was making and stuff like that. They don't want presumption of innocence to go into with people they don't see as deserving of it. Like if somebody claims that you raped them, you don't deserve due process. You need to be convicted. We need to believe the women, and what happens to you is going to happen to you. When a police officer shoots an unarmed shoots a suspect or a black man or whoever, they want it to be where he is guilty and there's no presumption of innocence. And then you're going to see that happen to when a white person commits a crime, and so on and so forth. Like this is their idea of equity.
Well, obviously we're competing between two different courts: court of public opinion and the court of law. And obviously, the court of public opinion includes the media, and you are never judged fairly in the court of public opinion. I am hoping that the jury got it right. I do find it interesting though that there's one tweet here. I saw Ben Shapiro getting dunked on for a tweet about Don Lemon and justice. And let me see here. Here we go. Thank God I have these things so close on hand because of the list. So CNN's Don Lemon says justice has been served, and then Ben Shapiro quote tweeted him saying, "And we all know he would have never said this had the reverse verdict been reached." This guy's getting dunked on for actually what's probably a fair assessment, because we know that Don Lemon would never say justice has been served if Derek Chauvin was found not guilty on all of the counts or even any of the counts.
Right. But the funny thing about this is that this is his typical play. Ben Shapiro and also a lot of his people who are his fans and stuff. It's like, look,
you mean his
what he
simps?
said is his simps. What he said is factually true. Yes, of course, Don Lemon's going to say that the justice wasn't served if the verdict was reversed, because justice wasn't served. If he's not found guilty on any of them and he walks free, then yes, justice wasn't served. That's an unjust verdict. It really is. I think a murderer should be convicted for killing the person that they killed.
Matthew comes in here and says Shapiro is 5'5". He isn't hard to dunk on.
I doubt Shapiro is an inch taller than I am.
Oh, Jay. Everyone can dunk on Ben Shapiro except for you, Jay. You're the only one who's getting blocked by him. Jordan coming in saying now Jay is basically getting Nick Fuentes. Oh man. So also another one from Ben Shapiro. He says, regardless of the verdict, the fact that the entire country knows that cities will burn if Chauvin isn't convicted is a deep indictment of the state of the country. Yeah, like that's pretty also accurate. That the actually weren't they trying to start some shit even after Chauvin was found guilty? I'm pretty sure there was some shit started. They were trying to like take over an 18-wheeler or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, they were going. They were circling an 18-wheeler, a truck, and they're trying to get through it.
Yeah, but there are places that are always going to riot, like Portland.
Oh yeah,
Portland's never going to stop.
No, it isn't.
And that's all basically white people,
which is
essentially
100%.
Now we got David Weissman, and David Weissman blocked me, so that's why I'm using the Habibi Bros account. He tweeted, hearing President Biden's remarks on the verdict of Derek Chauvin gives me calm and hope that we have a real president in office. He is right. No one is above the law. Hashtag justice for George Floyd. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. David Weissman is arguably the most deranged person, not because of this tweet, but just because in general he tweets out like this shit.
He's so deranged.
Yeah. So this is that's David Weissman. We got Sarah Yanarone. Sarah for PDX. So she's from Portland. She says, in the press conference following the conviction of Derek Chauvin, it was thoughtful of George Floyd's brother Rodney to thank the people of Portland explicitly for staying in the streets for so many consecutive nights in support of Black Lives Matter. Okay, wait to make it about you. And then she follows up by saying, and then she says, it was not easy, but apparently it resonated with people in ways we may never know. Wow. Okay. Portland.
It's so fucking hilarious. It really is. Watching these white people, especially these white people, talk about like the Karens were out in force on it. Out in fucking force.
Yeah.
Mommy, I can breathe today. It's like,
God, Mommy Milky.
Mommy Milky.
There is actually, by the way, this didn't make the list, but we talked about it last night very briefly about how deranged some of these takes are. Let's go take a look at it real quick.
This one's one of my favorites.
Says,
I can't.
Mama,
this is so bad.
Mama, I can breathe now.
It's one of my favorites. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I don't mean to say it like that, but holy fuck. I mean, holy fucking shit.
It's so
god
bad.
Fucking damn it.
And to culminate all of this, I mean, we haven't even gotten to the best one, and that's this coming from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
So again, thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life for justice, for being there to call out to your mom. How heartbreaking was that? Call out for your mom. I can't breathe. But because of you, and because of thousands, millions of people around the world who came out for justice, your name will always be synonymous.
I can't. It's so fucking, it's
Jay, can you kill me through the screen? I want you to I want you to strangle me.
I'm gonna go kill myself later. That was fucking that was disgusting. That was, every fucking meme and cliche you see of a rich white woman, that is Pelosi. That is Pelosi. Thank you, George Floyd, for dying and calling out for your mama. That was heartbroken, wasn't it? Thank you, George Floyd. Completely drunk off of a boxed wine and shit, not knowing where the fuck she is. That was heartbroken, wasn't it? That was so heartbreaking. It's so emotionless.
Bro, I just do not get it. How is this woman allowed out in public?
I don't know. I have zero idea why she is allowed out in public. Like these people, like her and what Nader is his name? Nader? What the fat really round
Jerry Nadler?
Guy? Jerry Nadler, like
Jerry Chungus, who I like to call
these guys, and then Feinstein. Like, fuck. These people need to get the fuck out of office. Like, it makes no sense that they're still there. They have no idea what the fuck they're doing. They go in diapers to fucking Congress to tell us how to live our lives. And then you have Nancy Pelosi. This is like, she's probably thinking about ice cream. Like, she's probably not even thinking about, like, why the fuck she's there. It's so insulting. It's so fucking insulting.
What if George Floyd's like looking down from heaven and being like, "Yo, I'm glad I'm not allowed to see that shit." Fuck, man. I just feel bad. I feel bad because this is how they're treating him in death, man. It's just so.
They're gonna dance on this body for as long as
they're
can.
Milking it. They're literally milking this man's death for all it's worth.
And that's not one of his pornos.
Oh my God. I hate you so goddamn much. Anyways, we got Angel Jones or Angel Jones. I don't know. We're gonna call her Angel Jones. I think that's how you pronounce it. Tweeting
Angel. Not even some people, Mr. Angel.
Some people pronounce it Angel,
maybe.
I know there's like Angel Hernandez, he's a golf player, PGA Tour. I don't know if he still plays, but anyways.
I don't watch, I'm not wired enough to watch golf, so I don't know.
Jay, you're definitely wired than me. Anyways, Angel Jones, PhD. Yeah. Angel Jones, PhD tweets, "Please don't confuse waiting for the verdict with waiting for the verdict while black. It hits differently when your humanity is also being deliberated. # Black Lives Matter." Also, she forgot to mention that White Boy Summer is canceled.
It is absolutely fucking canceled. There's no more White Boy Summer. I need to get a tan before this happens. So
yeah, Jay.
I'm not canceled.
Yeah, seriously. That's you literally just proving my point how white you are. Now we got Ashish Jha, a doctor, Dr. Saab, tweeting out, "I don't know if today's verdict in Minnesota truly counts as justice, but it is accountability, and accountability is a small step towards justice. And for that, I'm grateful. # Black Lives Matter." So, Jay,
it's fantastic.
Reinforcing the narrative that this isn't justice, it's just accountability.
It's just accountability. Like, listen, you want accountability? Get the fuck rid of police unions. Let's get rid of police unions. Let's make sure that we can hold these people accountable to who
qualified
they are.
Immunity.
Well, look. Hold on.
Are we going to disagree on this one?
1 second. Like, maybe they can reform qualified immunity in a certain way for sure, but I believe
it shouldn't exist the way it exists now.
No, right, and especially for police officers who are seriously untrained to be in this job. Like, that's one thing that they shouldn't really be in, and they need to get rid of police unions. And the reason why I say qualified immunity isn't.
Hold on. Jay, did you just say immunity?
Yeah, like
got the vaccine, you got the vaccine, they got the vaccine, we got the vaccine. We can get back to normal, let me inform you, let's all get the vaccine. It's about community immunity. I'm talking unity for you and me.
that was so good.
It never gets old.
That was
okay.
Perfect.
Back to your point about.
Well, there are certain.
We should have qualified community immunity.
Inshallah. No, I do believe that there are certain like immunities that they do and they should have, especially because of the job that they're in and stuff. It's kind of like people who go to war. It's kind of like politicians. It's kind of like that certain of area. They do deserve certain protections. Same thing with doctors and that kind of stuff. They do. But what they don't deserve, they do not deserve an organization like police unions, like teachers unions, like these things protecting really bad apples that are within their ranks.
Mhm.
That's what they don't deserve. I mean, you have officers who have been written up not thousands. Let me bring that down. Like 6,900 million times, and
Nice.
they're still officers. They're still police officers, and it's the same thing you see in public schools, and it's just disgusting. They don't deserve that kind of protection, not at all. But for instance, if somebody's doing their job, an accident happens, something like that, then yes, they do deserve some sort of protections that go around it. Undercover cops, like there's a lot of gray areas that happen within policing that deserve protection.
There's one particular police officer, otherwise known as Florida's worst cop, by the name of Sergeant German Bosk. When your name is German, it's got to be good, right? Anyways, Reason, the libertarian publication, has been following how often this guy has gotten back on the job. He's had 3 arrests and 6 firings, and he's still working the job. This is as recent as 2018. Over the course of 20 years, he has been fired 6 times and arrested 3 times for stealing drugs, possessing counterfeit cash, brutalizing suspects and bystanders, lying, insubordination, and sexual assault. And the police union that represents him constantly gets him back on the job. This is obviously pre-Ron DeSantis, but yes, why would Ron DeSantis do this, Jay?
Yeah, seriously. I don't fucking understand it. Why would he keep this police officer on duty? But again, this is what police unions do. And I always have to say teachers unions as well, because these are public unions.
Mm-hmm.
Unions, their main purpose is not the end product, which is why it doesn't work for teachers and it doesn't work for police. Police end product is protecting the citizens.
Mm-hmm.
The teacher's end product is for education on who they're teaching.
Yeah, right.
Teachers unions is to protect teachers no matter what, and police unions are to protect police no matter what.
Right.
And not always you have police officers that are looking out for the best of the public.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with teachers. And that's why these unions make 0 sense. It doesn't. You should not be protecting these type of people. You shouldn't. I mean, there are good apples. Yeah, there are people who are good teachers and who are good. But police unions, teachers unions, they're far worse than they are good. Because if you're protecting somebody who goes in to be racial profiling, kills people who are unarmed, like does all of this kind of stuff, that it sexually harasses people that they're arresting, like it outweighs you being good. I sort of see it like the death penalty, for instance. It's like there's somebody who could be innocent that is still going to death. That's why you should abolish the death penalty. There's good people who are police, but there are bad people who are police who are taking advantage of this, who are doing things that are illegal, who are murdering people, who are fucking, sexually harassing people as well. These bad things outweighs whatever the good people are doing. It really does, because you're losing lives, you're losing accountability, you're losing all of these type of things. And over the years, you still see people on the right who are now less into defending cops as they were before, because everybody is seeing this. Like, who is going to defend Derek for murdering George? Who would defend Derek for killing George?
I mean, there are plenty of people who are defending him.
Well, because they're fucking lunatics. They're fucking retarded. I mean, they're really dumb for doing that. You don't those are stupid people. Very stupid people.
And Jay just got canceled by all the Habibis.
Everybody, all of them are canceling me.
Anyways, Cassandra Fairbanks is definitely one of those people.
She's a loony fuck.
Has been basically going out of her way to defend Derek Chauvin. Now, look, I don't know. I think there are some people who think that justice was not served. I don't know for what reason. I would like for them to state their reasoning. Maybe we'll talk to some people who have seen it. Maybe their grievances are more with how the case was handled and how the political pressure was on the jury to rule for a conviction based on, coercion or threat of violence or burning down the entire city. I do find there have been some other tweets that I want to pull up. You got Black Lives Matter LA saying we must reject the bad apple's excuse for police violence. This is an extremely rotten tree, a rotten orchard. Derek Chauvin is guilty, and so is the system of policing. And then we got my all-time favorite tweet, the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh my God, this is so disgusting.
Tweeting out, "I can breathe." It is arguably the worst tweet. Look at that ratio. 73,000 quote tweets. That is bad.
That is insane. And the fact that he came out and said he's not going to delete it is insane. Look, let me come out and say to everyone is that I know you're not defending Derek killing George, and you're speaking out against I think it's like the second-degree murder, which under Minnesota law is absolutely fucking crazy. And
what is it? What's crazy?
I think they
agree with the verdict, but he's saying it's crazy.
They have to prove. Well, they have to prove the intent that, like, he went out there right when he confronted Derek that he wanted to kill him. But that's not necessarily the case. The case is that he killed him. There's no doubt about that in my mind whatsoever. And it could be negligence, it could be manslaughter, it could be whatever. What I'm saying is that this man should not walk.
Are you saying we should break his legs?
No, I'm actually kind of hungry. I'm saying walk. Like I want to eat some Chinese food. But what is going to be insane is that because the jury overcharged him, and so did the prosecution, is that he could walk over this second-degree murder. I want him to go to jail. He needs to go to jail. He killed George Floyd. He kept himself on George. He said he couldn't breathe. People told him he was passed out. You need to get off. He did it.
Yeah.
He needs to go to jail. So after that point, he killed him.
Yeah. I think so. Abe comes in and says second-degree manslaughter. That's the only case they had. Poseidon Pro says I would have been fine with the manslaughter charge. So he was found guilty on manslaughter, but it was the second-degree murder as well as the what was the other charge? Second and third-degree murder. So
right. He needs to be charged with manslaughter. That's the only one that
well, really he did. He's found guilty of that. So
no, that what needs to stay. Hopefully, after the appeals, all that.
Probably after the appeal, that's probably what's going to end up staying. Now, will that cause the entire country to erupt in unrest? We don't know, but
probably
they'll probably reduce his sentence. Nolan says Siraj is always trying to Kathy Newman Jay.
What is it?
I don't even know what that means.
Kathy Newman.
Kathy Newman.
I don't either.
I don't know.
Who's Kathy?
Anyways, this next tweet says Ron DeSantis is every bit as bad as Derek Chauvin. Okay, Jay. Please tell me how. I actually think Ron DeSantis is worse than Derek Chauvin. Suck on that, libs.
Worse than Derek Chauvin.
fucking with you, man. No,
I know you are. I was just like,
look at it. I mean, look at this. How are you going to make this about Ron DeSantis?
It's very easy for these dumb fucks to want to try and they want to demonize Ron DeSantis so bad, and he is doing such a great job that they look so stupid. They look so fucking stupid. Like, to the point where I even think my mom would vote for Ron DeSantis if he ran against, like, Harris, for example. I really think she would, because luckily she's come back a little bit more to the center from as far left as she was, to understand how a lot of these like propaganda and you know, policies are pushed and all that kind of stuff. Because there's nothing Ron DeSantis has done bad during this whole fucking time that deserves this hate. He praised Trump once, and everybody loses their minds over it. Like
I've said it before.
Goldberg.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Ron DeSantis' little brother watching Big Brother Trump fuck up and basically taking notes on knowing what to do and what not to do. He's very savvy, very smart. And sure, we may not know all of his policy positions, but what ultimately matters is his governing experience. And so far with handling COVID, which has been obviously the most consequential, you know, I wouldn't call it a natural disaster, but, you know, human calamity that has befallen us, he's done a pretty decent job for having not shut down his entire state. I mean, they're still middle of the pack for as big as Florida is, whether at least in the top 5 in terms of population in the country. They have they're like in the middle of both cases and deaths per 100,000 people. So you gotta just, I mean, people have been trying to expose him for all this like pay for play stuff with Publix, and the shit just hasn't stuck, especially with 60 Minutes. And you know, you can go after him for stuff.
Nobody has been fired from 60 Minutes over that shit. Still irks me. It irks me to no fucking end.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, that's all good. Tracy says, "Where's Ern? You promised Ern. He'll be joining us in just a moment." I just want to get through the last remaining bits of this Derek Chauvin bit before we hop over to the next topic. We got literally 2 more topics, but before we go to the next topic, I'll get Ernie. Next one, we get Mayor Jacob Fry. This is the mayor of Minneapolis saying George Floyd came to Minneapolis to better his life, but ultimately his life will have bettered our city. The jury joined in the shared conviction that has animated Minneapolis for the last 11 months. They refused to look away and affirmed he should still be here today. Bitch, who asked you, man? I mean, this is literally a dude who is hated by everyone in his city and everyone across the country for being a scared little weakling, and he has both found a way to be hated by both the people who are pro-police and anti-police, and also the entire city of Minneapolis burned down under his watch, and he did nothing. Nothing.
He didn't do shit.
Speaking of which, this is the next one we have. This I don't even know if this is his real name. Mehmet Okur tweets out, "Shout out to everybody that was in the streets of Minneapolis burning it down last summer. Y'all did that." Like that's what actually got the guilty verdict. And then we have an interesting clip from Curtis Hook from MSNBC's Jason Johnson. Said he's furious about the verdict, calling it a cultural makeup call. I actually have the clip here. Let me go ahead and play it.
Well, I'll say this, Nicole. Like I said, I actually always thought that he would be found guilty because it's sort of a cultural makeup call. But I'm not happy. I'm not pleased. I don't have any sense of satisfaction. I don't think this is a system working. I don't think this is a good thing. What this says to me is that in order to get a nominal degree of justice in this country, that a black man has to be murdered on air, viewed by the entire world. There have to be a year's worth of protests and a phalanx of other white police officers to tell one white officer that he was wrong in order to get one scintilla of justice. That doesn't make me feel happy. That doesn't make me feel satisfied. It makes me worry about what's going to happen when these other officers are held on trial. It makes me upset all the more that we didn't have this for Breonna Taylor. It makes me concerned about what's going to happen in the trial for Ahmaud Arbery. So, no, I mean, this is not the system working. This is a makeup call. This is the justice system trying to say that, hey, this is one bad apple, because that's how this is going to be interpreted. It's going to be this one bad apple. He got in trouble. Yay, blah, blah, blah. And yet there's still going to be young black men and women across this country being shot today, tomorrow, and 2 weeks from now, because unless we have some radical reform, there's no lesson learned.
I really should clip the end of that so that the news busters doesn't show up. It just like leaves it there.
You're just like,
so much
oh,
dead air. Anyway, shout out Curtis Hug for getting that clip. So
Kurt Beebe.
Look, there's in terms of what he actually said, that you need actual video evidence to get justice, I understand the point he's trying to make. Like with Ahmaud Arbery, if there wasn't video of him actually being gunned down by the father and son, there would likely not be charges against them. And with the whole thing with Breonna Taylor, like if we had video footage of the actual execution of the search warrant, I feel we probably would have a clearer picture of what's going on. I don't know if we get full on justice for it, but we might at least have a little bit more information to assess the situation a bit better. But I mean, it's not like the Chauvin verdict like makes me happy. Like a man is still dead. Like that's not something to celebrate. But I really find it rudimentary and actually kind of, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for here, but almost it's really, I feel really like gross when people are shallow enough to like celebrate a murder conviction. That just like makes me feel gross.
Right. Well, especially the way that they're celebrating it too, because a lot of people are just like, thank you for dying. Now we can use your body to push our policies and what we want for our agenda. And for him to also say that kind of shit, look, the funny thing about this is you even had, I think, Harris come out and say some shit about it. And Pelosi is the big one who said some shit about it. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to do jack shit. They're going to use this dead body to virtue signal, to say all the right things that they want to say, to make sure that the media just gets on their knees and sucks their dicks for.
Hold on, did you just say, Jay? Did you just say virtue single?
No. Maybe. I maybe said that.
We got another Jayism in the house. Virtue single.
I'm not going to confirm or deny that because I can't say the word right now. I'm like 4 drinks in.
Anong Bai coming through here saying virtue single is my favorite Substack writer. Oh man, I think at this time it's time to go get Ernie. So let's go get him.
Do it. Go get Ern, and I am going to hit some of your guys' comments, questions, because I can actually do that. I actually have the power. Oh shit, Fuzzy. I don't even want to see it now. Oh god, it's gonna be so bad. It had to do with my salute. I know it had to do with my salute. Oh, son of a bitch. Look.
Here he is.
Fuzzy. I don't mean to hear your mom screaming. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Why do you do this to me?
Hey, bud.
Abe, I did. I have watched the trial. I did watch the trial. I know where you guys are coming from. I totally understand it. And what I want to say is he did not die from fentanyl. He didn't. He died from fucking Derek killing the guy. That is what happened. And it's 100% what happened.
Essentially.
100%. Oh, shit.
What?
Rachel, that's 100% true.
You're not wrong. Okay. Jay, we got to talk about this next thing with Ma'Khia Bryant, because this happened literally on the day of Derek Chauvin's guilty verdict. Now, we're not going to show the video of what happened But there are tweets out there and imagery that we can reference. So we'll show you the best of our ability, because obviously it's like a graphic video. It's not like something we want to show.
It is. It's not. It's not fun to watch.
It's not. And again, when I say this, it is a sad situation all around, because a 16-year-old is still dead. The situation that happened, and we'll try to unpack this as best as we possibly can. The interim Columbus police chief, Michael Woods, issued a final statement at Wednesday's press conference about the shooting death of a 16-year-old girl by an officer, saying, "I wish to hell it hadn't happened." This coming from the Columbus Dispatch. Ma'Khia Bryant's death after being shot by a Columbus police officer on Tuesday afternoon has become the latest in a series of high-profile shootings by police across the country. Activists and city leaders alike called for reform, both with police policy and in efforts to curb the rising violence in Columbus. As more information was being released about the shooting, which occurred around 4:45 p.m. Tuesday on the 3100 block of Legion Lane, Ohio State University students were staging a sit-in on campus of about 500 students marching down High Street. Bryant died at a nearby hospital on Tuesday after she was shot by an officer who was responding to a call about an attempted stabbing. Woods said Wednesday that police had received a 911 call about the attempted stabbing that brought an officer to the scene. Police have not established as of Wednesday who placed that call. But there have been reports as possible that Ma'Khia Bryant actually placed the call, saying that there was fighting going on outside of her home. Now, if you had actually, I'm not gonna get into all the commentary right yet, but the officer who shot the teen, they've released the name of that officer as Nicholas Reardon, and I'm not going to I don't know. I think I blocked out the image because this is what
you blocked
LeBron. This is what LeBron James tweeted. He said, "You're next, #accountability."
It's so bad.
He deleted that tweet.
Yeah.
That went to almost 50 million followers. And it made it appear like this police officer straight up murdered the 16-year-old. And almost everyone had actually watched the footage or at least the police cam, and they released it really soon. They released it within hours after the shooting. And I want to highlight here, I think near the top here, I'll just show you this. This provides the best context here. If you look at this image, this is from a screenshot of the body cam. Ma'Khia Bryant is wearing the black shirt. She's holding a knife in her right hand. She's literally about to stab the woman in the pink jumpsuit. And that's when the police officer fires his service weapon and stops her from stabbing her, that woman. And then she dies at the hospital. Obviously, tragic. Don't want to have anyone die in these situations. She's only 16 years old. But there have been some really weird ways of how people have characterized this, and
there has
largely coming from.
I need to be right back. I need to go take a pee. This is what happens when you drink half a bottle of fucking bourbon. I'll be right back.
Oh my God, Jay. So while Jay is currently pissing, I'm gonna go ahead and find one of these really, really bad tweets, because it really makes you lose faith in a lot of people's intelligence. But yeah, anyways, LeBron took down that tweet. And while Jay is currently doing his thing, I'll get LeBron as well as Bree Newsom, because I don't know where people are getting this stuff. But Jen says his PR person told him to delete it. I don't doubt that. Is his PR person Xi Jinping? That would make sense, right? Anyways, this is what LeBron James's response was to taking down the tweet. He says, anger does any of us any good, and that includes myself. Anger does any of us any good, and that includes myself. Gathering all the facts and educating does, though. My anger still is here for what happened, that little girl, my sympathy for her family, and may justice prevail. Okay, that's part one. In part two, he says, I'm so damn tired of seeing black people killed by police. I took the tweet down because it's being used to create more hate. This isn't about one officer. It's about the entire system. and they always use our words to create more racism. I'm so desperate for more accountability. Now, Jay, no one forced LeBron James to tweet that image. No one forced LeBron James to tweet this. Did anybody force LeBron James to tweet this? Did Xi Jinping hold a gun to LeBron James' head and says, tweet this photo of this police officer?
He held his dick right into the guy's fucking asshole. This is what you're gonna need to do, or you're gonna have another fucking ouchie tomorrow morning.
Oh my god. Anyways,
that's what fucking happened.
I'm just amazed that this is his immediate go-to. And then, it's always like it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. But not in this case. Like this is it. I don't know what's going to happen to this officer, but he's probably going to have to go into hiding. And in almost every single, and I don't want to like bring up cop shows, but like almost every single time you watch like some cop in, some movie or TV show, they get there in the nick of time. They kill the person who's supposed to be killing the victim, and, all is right with the world. Like, this is like the complete opposite outcome. I mean, like, it's the exact same result, but like, it's basically being treated entirely differently. The entire flip side. This guy's evil. He, went out and literally murdered a 16-year-old girl. And people seem to be missing the fact that he literally saved another human being from certain death. At least getting stabbed. I mean, if he did not intervene, in all likelihood, if Ma'Khia Bryant like missed because she has like bad knife aim or something like that, like there is like nearly 100% chance that woman would have been stabbed.
Oh, 100%.
Essentially
100%. That's what would have happened.
Yeah.
And it's so funny watching, like, for example, what's her name? Valerie Jarrett.
Oh, let's get to that real quick.
She tweeted out that initial tweet right there, and it's like, to break up a knife fight, like, it's so fucking hilarious that they're just going to bring this shit up like it's a fucking everyday occurrence. Like, yeah, this is part of growing up. Like, when you're a teen, you go and fucking try to stab somebody.
Yeah, Jay, how many knife fights did you get into growing up?
Look, I was hard. Okay, growing up on the streets of Abu Dhabi in Dubai, we'd fuck shit up on camels.
I'm talking about sword fights with your penis, Jay.
Oh, sorry. That happened in all boys' schools.
I mean, every guy has been in a sword fight. Knife fight, though. That's a different story.
That's a different
Ernie, are you licking my pants?
That is a different fucking story right there. And
yeah,
it's really, really sick. And especially LeBron's tweet as well. That one, like, you're next. I photoshopped it to show Uyghur kids on his tweet, as in that's what's next. Everyone's take on this fucking thing is disgusting, because the cop saved a life and the media wants to destroy this person's life. Like NPR was saying, like, a white cop shot a black teen, blah, blah, blah. And then 2 hours later, they're like, oh, wait, actually, the black teen was about to, stab and kill the other.
Everybody constantly, they jump to conclusions before they actually, you have to wait for the facts to come in. And this is like my case with everything. I have to stop tweeting about breaking news because I always get it wrong. So I stopped, and it has only rewarded me because when I wait for the facts, I don't look like a complete fucking idiot. I just look like a fucking idiot.
You are
in most cases.
Well, no, come on, Habibi, no. In all cases.
Why can't I find this Brie Newsom tweet? She tweets so goddamn much. This is going to drive me insane.
Which tweet are you looking for? For Bree's tweet?
Bree Newsom. It is going to drive me insane.
Well, the other tweet from Sherman English, whatever the fuck his name is, was really fucking insane too, where he was showcasing like how come that they could take Dylan Roof and fucking Kyle Rittenhouse away in custody, but they couldn't take away this black teen who was just about to fucking stab another black teen right in front of them.
Bree Newsom tweets, teenagers have been having fights, including fights involving knives, for eons. We do not need police to address these situations by showing up to the scene and using a weapon against one of the teenagers. Y'all need help. I mean that sincerely. Jay, we just got to let the police let them duke it out.
Right. We should just stand back, let them stab each other, and we'll be all good. It's like the woke and racist thing. It's like, you know what? Yeah. Let these black teens just go ahead and fucking kill each other. Who the fuck cares? Who said that? A woke person or a racist person? We don't fucking know in 2021 anymore. We really don't.
This is the tweet you're referring to. They took Dylan Roof to Burger King after he murdered 9 black people. Burger King. But you can't apprehend someone with a knife when you don't even know what the fucking situation is. Just gather your fucking car and start shooting. Fuck you. Yeah. Now we have.
That's also a fucking lie too. Like, that's what? That's not what happened. It's not the fucking truth. They cannot help themselves. They have to fucking lie.
What actually
and they
happened?
Always bring up these two fucking. They always bring up the same fucking case. Dylan Roof, who surrendered first of fucking all, surrendered. Like, the guy hopefully will completely fucking die in jail. I hope so. Like, they should kill him already. I hate that my taxpayer money is keeping him alive, but he will die. And they only bring up this one case.
Okay, so
White people get shot all the time by the police.
I'm referencing
all the fucking time.
I'm referencing Snopes. I'm referencing Snopes here, okay? So this is from the report. It says, with the department's phone ringing nonstop in the background, the young suspect with the bowl cut hair was locked away in the second floor conference room with an officer watching over him. Organized chaos, because this is what Ledford, I think one of the deputies said, because there were so many moving parts, including feeding the unexpected arrestee. He hadn't eaten, they said, in a couple days. Pastor Strickland Maddox said they bought him a hamburger they just sent out for it. I guess one of the police officers went and picked it up. Ledford confirmed that this purchase was made. And then the chief said he did have something to eat while he was there, and he was secured in cuffs the entire time. And Snopes then goes on to say, no reasonable reading of Shelby Police Chief Jeff Ledford's accounts would suggest that Roof had actually been, quote unquote, taken to Burger King after he was apprehended. So that was literally debunked.
And they keep going with this lie. And you have people in the fucking media. You have people who are journalists who actually post this shit, who actually push this shit, who actually will be like, yeah, this is a good comparison. It's like, no, you dumb fucking piece of shit. It is not a good comparison. You can't compare those two things.
Yeah,
you can't. It doesn't work that way. If she dropped the fucking knife, they would just arrested both of them and taken them to the police station. But you had the person actively trying to kill another person. The police are there for the sole purpose, like he did his job. That was the right thing to do. He did it right. And you're coming out saying, no, they should have murdered that black chick should have murdered the other black chick.
Yeah.
Fuck you. What
and Zay brought up a very good point. Zay Jelani, who is I saw him reference obviously in the chat.
Yes.
Zay Jelani made a great point earlier today. So that if the cop did not intervene, or if the cop even wasn't there, that girl in the pink jumpsuit would have been stabbed. She likely could have died. And there would be no national news or attention on it whatsoever. And it would just be another statistic of violence happening in an urban area, and that literally, like, this is in any other scenario, this cop would be seen as a hero, but because it's involves someone who is part of a racial group that has been targeted by police, not even targeted, but has been disproportionately affected by policing in the United States, they got to carry on this narrative that she was straight up murdered and not stopped from killing someone else. So,
well, and it's also because they really want that fucking race war. They do. The media fucking craves it. You see that NPR tweet. When I read that NPR tweet and I texted it to you, I was so disgusted by it because they didn't the whole tweet, the whole headline tweet was like a fucking paragraph long just to fucking what's it called? Like, make sure that they're pinpointing that he was a white police officer shooting a black teen, and 2 hours later they put another tweet out saying like, oh, she was armed.
Yeah,
it's like
with a knife. It's like 3 hours later.
They know the damage is already done. They know that what they wanted to do, that outrage, that 10,000 retweets, that fucking people clicking on their thing, that's what they wanted. They don't care. They don't give a flying fuck if your business is burned down because of it. If your family has to lose their fucking income because of it, they don't give a shit. They really don't. But your tax-paying money is going to their fucking salaries.
Yeah,
it's disgusting. It's fucking sick.
Kathy Griffin tweeting here, this was last night, saying, warning, how in the hell does this police officer think it's a good idea to fire shots blindly into a group of teenagers having a fight? Yes, one of them has a knife. Oh, that never happened in your school or neighborhood? She didn't deserve to die. 16-year-old, hashtag Ma'Khia Bryant. What the fuck am I looking at here, Jay? First of all, everyone seems to think that he shot blindly. The body cam does not catch whether the cop is actually shooting blindly or not. Do you have like his fucking eyes closed when he was shooting?
He's like, fuck all you black kids.
Yeah, seriously, like that's how it's coming off here. And then she like concedes saying yes, one of them had a knife, and then tries to like poo-poo to say the thing by saying, oh, that never happened in your school or neighborhood. Yes, like that makes it more acceptable that she had a knife and was trying to stab someone else. Fuck, have you ever seen Kathy Griffin
fight? Did a knife fight ever happen in your school? Did you witness it?
No, I've seen fights, but never with a fucking knife.
Did you? Oh, you mean nobody tried to murder another person in high school?
I mean, I'm sure they wanted to, but like, they didn't have a knife on them. This coming from Jamel Hill. Jamel Hill tweeting, if you find yourself justifying killing children, you are an asshole. Probably worse than that, but let's start there. And then I hit her with the younglings list me.
It's the perfect meme for it. It's the perfect meme for it. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That is so good. Jamil Hill is such garbage. Anyone who is so in depth into critical race theory like Jamila Hill, Henry Rogers,
we're not even. The thing is, like, no one's justifying killing children. Literally trying to stop another child from dying. And yes, 16 years old, they are children. It is abhorrent that someone else would try to stab someone else. In most cases, there isn't always an officer or there isn't always someone there who can intervene and stop that from happening. No, and I'm wondering how that person who was almost stabbed is feeling about all of this. No one has actually reached out to that person and asked how they're feeling because they had their life saved by a police officer. Has anyone tried reaching out to her? I'm interested in what she has to say about this.
And Dan from last night makes a good point. Is like an important question is like, does the life of the girl in pink matter? And we haven't seen anyone reach out, like you said, reach out to her, take her story, her part of the story, and all you see is actually her thanking the police officer, as they were walking her to like the rest of the camp, shows her like thanking the police officer as they were taking her away as well. It's such a horrible and disgusting thing. And then you have that Twitter account 911 breaking news showcasing that another team stabbed another team. And it's like after hearing and after hearing all of these things from these woke white pieces of shit and these critical race theory absolute garbage humans of society saying like, what, oh, you've never seen this happen before? Then like, okay, that 13-year-old murdering that other 13-year-old is just playtime. That's what it is. It's high school playtime. So yes, that's great. Let it happen. Thank God no cops were in the middle of it.
And but there's also been a lot of efforts to lionize Ma'Khia Bryant, which I honestly think is pretty
disgusting.
It's just gross. ACLU of Ohio tweets, the systems that allowed George Floyd to be murdered remain fully intact. Moments after we celebrated a win for police accountability in Minneapolis, news broke that Columbus police murdered a 15-year-old black girl. Her name was Ma'Khia Bryant. Say her name, hashtag Black Lives Matter.
Here, how about say this? ACLU is a disgusting, useless fucking organization that should be disbanded, and fucking fuck you. Fuck these people. Like, seriously, hashtag say that.
hashtag fuck the ACLU. Hashtag say that.
Hashtag say that.
Oh, man. It's just all of it is so gross and it's just so unnecessary. And
it really is.
And yet we're constantly again and again deluged in all sorts of bullshit. And I have like endless listing to do. Like, you guys are literally killing me. By the way, Jay, did you know this? Tomorrow is actually our 1 year anniversary of doing Habibi Power Hour.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Habibis. It's been, tomorrow will mark 1 year of Habibi Power Hour. And Jay, we are celebrating it by actually having quite a guest on for tomorrow, which, by the way, Habibis will be for our premium episode. But for those of the Habibis who do not know, this week we'll have Glenn Greenwald on our premium episode. So if you haven't already, go ahead, subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/Habibi Bros. And then also, if you haven't already, tell a friend about the show. Tell 3 people you don't know. Not 3 people you don't know. Tell 3 people you do know about us. Help spread the word. Just
randomly text it.
Yeah, randomly tell people. Tell 3 people you don't know about the show, or tell 3 people you do know not about the show, but tell them about something else. I'm really twisting my words here. Just tell them.
And I'm the only one drinking.
Yeah, I know. What's going on here, Jay? I have no idea. Anyways, tell 3 people about the show. Have them tune in on Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. East. And give us a sub on the and have them sub to our YouTube channel so you can get to monetization, because it would be great to get demonetized by them.
By being monetized.
After being monetized, we just get demonetized.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. So, Jay, final story of the evening, and that is focusing on this Euro Super League. And this is one of the funniest stories to happen this week, because we literally had like almost no time to even process it. And by the time that we got to processing it, they basically fizzled. So this coming from the New York Times. Plans for a European Soccer Super League collapsed spectacularly on Tuesday as the project's 6 Premier League clubs, half of the Super League's founding members, walked away from the plan only 2 days after it was announced. Manchester City, one of the 6 English teams that had signed up as founding members of the new Super League, was the first to confirm it was out, saying in a one-sentence statement that it had begun the process of withdrawing from the project. Within hours, Chelsea, Manchester United, Arsenal, Tottenham, Hotspur, and Liverpool all signaled they too would decline to take part. Soon after that, it was all over. Inter Milan was out as well, and just after midnight in Europe, a top Super League official confirmed the entire project had been suspended. The league released an unsigned statement blaming outside pressure for its demise. The denouement was a stunning implosion for a multi-billion-dollar proposal that had prompted howls of outrage from nearly every corner of the sport since it was announced on Sunday, and the culmination of a frantic 48 hours of arguments, threats, and intrigue at the highest levels of world soccer. Manchester City's about face came soon after its celebrated Spanish coach Pep Guardiola had slammed the plans for a closed competition, saying, quote, "It is not a sport if it doesn't matter if you lose," end quote. Chelsea spent the day preparing a similar reversal. It did so while its own fans held a protest march on the streets outside the club stadium, and while its team, reportedly in mutiny over the plan, played a Premier League match against Brighton. Tottenham Hotspur expressed regret for taking part. Manchester United acknowledged that its fans had helped to change the club's mind, saying, quote, "We have listened carefully to the reaction of our fans, the UK government, and our key stakeholders," the team said. And then my club, Arsenal, basically came out with this statement. We'll open. And
I still laughed at the fact that Arsenal was the one.
Shut the fuck up. Anyways, Arsenal tweeting, "As a result of listening to you and the wider football community over recent days, we are withdrawing from the proposed Super League. We made a mistake and we apologize for it." And all I could think about, the only thing I could think about is the South Park episode, the BP oil spill, and you have that executive saying, "We're sorry. Sorry. So yeah. Jay, when you saw that there was a Super League involving our two and our respective favorite clubs, what went through your mind?
First of all, is that they even invited Arsenal and Tottenham into it was like fucking hilarious. But secondly, it was also like they were trying to pretend like these are the greatest clubs in the fucking leagues and all that kind of stuff. And it's
well,
like,
Arsenal is the greatest club in the league.
Being seventh. I think no club has been seventh place as much as Arsenal in the history of the Premier League.
It's fourth place. Get it right.
No, seventh. Let's get it. It's seventh. It's always seventh. Always. And
we're still the invincible
United,
season. It's still less than 20 years old.
Well, when's the last time Man United won the Premier League? When's the last time that they won the Champions League?
At least a decade ago.
It's been 10 years for the Premier League, 13 years for the Champions League.
Really?
Yeah. It's been
was that the one where they played Chelsea?
I think so. I
was in England. Sure. I was in England at that time.
It's really been a long time. Like most of the people that were in that Super League were really shit, complete garbage. And they were only there because they had the biggest fan base and they wanted to strong arm UEFA into giving them more money. And the thing is, it's like look, for all its faults, and there's a lot of faults that go to UEFA that go. I like how you look like looking at your hand, and then we're about to lick it after you were going to lick it, weren't you?
I wasn't going to lick it.
Yeah, you were. You wanted to lick it right after.
Well, I wanted to. Jay, do you want to? I want to see how it tastes.
I know you did. That's what you like. What does Ern's ass?
Yeah, what does Ern taste?
No, but like like UEFA, the Champions League, like the Premier League, these places are in place also for the smallest clubs that are out there. Like the one that's won it twice, like Lancaster. Is it Lancaster? No,
Leicester City.
Leicester City. Look, first of all, white names sound the same to me. Okay? So Leicester City, for instance, who's won it twice, who's been up there, all that kind of stuff.
They actually
weren't
didn't win it
invited.
twice. They won it once.
Okay,
Yeah.
once. What the fuck?
In 2016, there were 500 to one. There were 500
That's
to one long
fantastic.
shots.
But they still are in the top 10, and they're in the top 5 last year.
Yeah,
and the year
no.
before that, they've been there for a good fucking time, and especially compared to Arsenal and Manchester United. Like, it's so disgusting what they try to do.
So
really,
this is all you really need to know, Habibis. For those of you who don't know anything about soccer or football,
which is probably 99% of you.
It's probably at least essentially 100%, 69% of you.
Inshallah.
Basically, they formed the Super League as a money grab. They wanted to just make more money, keep all the money within the 12 clubs, and just secure broadcasting rights for just their matches, and not by the setting up like basically their own community and putting the walls up. There's no guarantee, obviously, that any of the clubs outside of that would ever get in. It's not like it's like the European Union. They like we'll let you in for a nominal fee. Like, these clubs don't have like that kind of money.
No, they don't.
It's all stupid. I'm glad it fizzled out. And I mean, I get that we have like these type of leagues here in the United States, and there's no such thing as relegation. It would be fucking amazing if there was relegation in like the NBA or MLB or anything like that. But we live in a society, and we just don't have that right now.
We live in a society.
But anyways, Habibis, before we go, let's do our favorite segment, and that is Ask Us Anything. So Habibis, go ahead, ask us your questions for the week. Even shoot us questions of what you want us to ask Glenn Greenwald. We have some platinum Habibis that we asked, but if you have a question, we're going to be talking about his new book called Securing Democracy. It's actually focused on his reporting on Operation Car Wash and investigating the investigators. There was obviously a lot of talk about investigating the investigators here in the United States under the Trump administration, investigating the Mueller probe. That shit actually happened in Brazil. You had basically the Mueller probe exposed in Brazil as being corrupt with the judge, and that's how this whole thing blew open. And it's actually very fascinating. And Brazil is like one of those places where like you actually have someone who was part of the military dictatorship in Brazil, and actually was discharged from the military because he was way too violent. And so I'm pretty excited to talk to him about that. We're going to talk about some other stories of the week and sort of what he likes to focus on as well.
Yes.
But it's going to be a great episode. We're chatting with him tomorrow night. And if you subscribe, now we have at least one demigod Habibi, and that is Bike Practicer. Bike Practicer, if you're not around, he is the sole person who can watch this live because he literally pays for the demigod Patreon tier. And let's see, there you go, Bike Practicer. I don't know his real name. Actually, I do, but I only know his first name. We're not going to dox him, but in any event,
we keep it as Bike Practicer,
yeah.
And it's great. I mean, he was there for the first time when we were doing the live show. I mean, the premium show with Shu. And then also when we do Haram Ball, he will also be there live with it as well. Yeah.
So if you want to up your game, be like Bike Practicer.
Yes. Also, speaking of the Patreon, I want to go through the Patreon shout outs.
Do you have them? Do you have them written down?
Yes, I have them. I have them all here. And these are the I don't have them written down for the.
God damn it, Jay.
I am sorry. How do I do that? Do I go?
No, it's okay. We can just read them out.
Okay, I'm gonna fuck up all your names. I'm saying this right now, and nobody's gonna know what the real thing is because they can't see it on their screen. But the first one is Eric Halverson. I would like to thank you for being a gold Habibi.
Takbir.
Stacy, Allah Akbar.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar. I am done with this bottle.
Ernie, what are you doing? Bud?
The second one, the next one would be Stacy Menace, and also Stacy. If anyone is the praying type, if anyone is out there who would like to pray, please do so for Stacy Menace. She's going through some health stuff and everything, and I really would like any Habibis out there to give their thoughts and prayers out to her as well.
Inshallah. Ameen.
Inshallah. And the next one is one who actually raised their pledge to become a golden Habibi. That's Nolan Harris.
Nolan.
He's great on the Discord, and it's great to have him as a golden Habibi as well.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar. And the next one who actually raised themselves from a $5 Habibi to a platinum Habibi is Carl Ferris. Carl Habibi.
Carl.
Thank you so much for becoming a platinum Habibi. I love gaming with you and also having you on the Discord. The
Takbir.
next one, Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
The next, Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar. I have to do it. It's like a reflex. The next one is, of course, my mom, Mary. Thank you very much. And the funny thing is that she doesn't even know she's doing this because she thinks she's paying only $5 to your Patreon and $5 to the Habibi Bros Patreon. But she's also, through another email, I have no idea how this is happening, and neither does she. She is also a golden Habibi through a live email. Thanks, Mom, and hopefully your boomerness will never get you out of that.
Inshallah. Takbir.
Inshallah. Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
And Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
And Allahu Akbar. And the next one is Sam Kane. Sam, if you're watching, please answer us on our Patreon message. I would love to get your Twitter and Instagram follow, and also to get you on our Discord server as well.
So, Allah Akbar.
And the next one will be Axios. Axios, we know 100% certain you are somebody who works at Axios and is going to do a good and thorough article on why Siraj is a white supremacist and he is bringing in Islamic white supremacists into the forefront. And thank you so much for being a platinum Habibi.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
And another Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
And another Allahu Akbar. And another Habibi who went from a $5 Habibi to a platinum Habibi is Kenny Hughes. It's probably Hughes. Kenny Hughes. Habibi, thank you. He has one of the cutest kids who looks exactly like him, who wears these really thick glasses because he's blind. And then he had a kid who's also blind. But thank you so much for being a platinum Habibi.
Yeah. Axios is Siraj's sugar daddy. This is true.
This is 100% true. Holy shit. 100%. I need to get live. Like Axios, just become a demigod Habibi on Habibi Bros.
Yeah,
like, do that instead.
Jay's like, where can I get this money?
The next one is Damien Toll.
Hey!
Damien, he went from a $5 Habibi to a golden Habibi as well. Love you, Habibi. Love you on our Discord as well. He is one of our lawyer Habibis.
That's true.
And he brings light and also not so good tips on how to be your lawyer on our Discord server. But thank you so much.
The next Damien too.
Wait, is it not Damien? Is it Damien?
David.
Oh shit, it's David. All right. I thought it Damien. The next one is Melissa Moore. Melissa Moore, thank you so much for subscribing to us and being a Golden Habibi. I know Red Steezy, Stephen Miller is the one that brought you over to us. It's funny because I drink a lot and then I remember shit. And she mentioned this once before over on one of the Patreon messages. Thank you so much for joining us and being a part of the Habibis. The next one, who is also a Golden Habibi, a Platinum Habibi, who goes above and beyond, Plain Jane of Champagne.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Jane, for joining us on this adventure. We appreciate you, and I love everything that you do comment on on the Discord server. I know the Discord can be. I mean, fuck. If I had my mom in Discord, she would probably text me every other day. I'm like, how the fuck do you do this? It can get a little raunchy. But Plain Jane, thank you so much, and thank you for being part of the Platinum Habibis.
Yeah.
The next Golden Habibi is Sam Friedman.
Yeah.
Yes, and we're following you on Instagram and Twitter. He also has a ship posting Twitter account, which is actually really great. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I followed it. And Trip.
Wow, way to throw me under the bus.
No, he said you can follow it if you want to. I thought I sent it to you. I'm sorry.
Maybe I don't know.
The next one is Trip. That's all I got. Trip. Thank you so much for being a Golden Habibi. And the last one is Jason Quisenberry. Thank you so much, Jason Quisenberry. And thank you so much for being a Golden Habibi and pledging your $20. We appreciate you. Habibi.
Thank you, Habibis. Thank you to all the Habibis. I like how we started Ask Us Anything, and we literally didn't take any questions.
No, 0 questions. And I need to go and get some Taco Bell.
Oh, okay. All right. So I guess we'll
No. I'm playing. No. Let's do a couple.
Oh, okay. You want to do one? We'll take a couple questions, and Ernie then wants to go upstairs and obviously play with his ball. Yes. Mary says, "Happy first anniversary, Habibis, with many more to come. Praying for Stacy at the request of my atheist son. Sincerely hope she gets better. Be well, all Habibis. Good night." Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mary, for that. Nolan says, "Siraj, I know you don't have to worry about this, but is it haram to have sex during Ramadan?"
Damn, this is so good.
Jay.
Nolan, I love you. Thank you so much for being a Golden Habibi. This is absolutely fucking delicious.
Jay, how do I block somebody in the chat?
It's not gonna happen. he's a Golden Habibi. This is what Golden Habibis have the privilege to do.
Moving on, Damon Toll says, "I have a question for Ern. How badly do you want Siraj to get shot in a knife fight?" Well, what's the answer, buddy?
Let's hear it. Ernie.
I guess a lot.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dave says, "Will you consider having a Habibi Bros 1 anniversary sale?" Actually, yeah, we probably should do that.
Yeah,
we'll get on it. We'll get on it in like 69 days.
Yes, from the year anniversary. Inshallah. But no, Nate Bibi will get that done.
Carl comes in here and says Nolan chose violence. Fuzzy jumps in here and says, "Don't drive, Jay. Numerous drinks and barely being able to see over your Prius steering wheel is a recipe for disaster." This is true.
It really is, but I'm going to go and get 14 tacos.
Inshallah. Jen then says, "Is this related to golden showers? Is that how you get to the golden status?" Well, you get to I'm not even going to go there. So Habibis, we're just going to leave it on that note.
Right.
Very quick, ask us anything, in which I'm getting no ass. Wow. But anyways, Habibis, don't forget we got a brand new premium episode coming up this weekend. And don't forget to tell your friends about the show. 3 people, that's all we ask in the next week. 3 people you don't know, have never met before. Just tell them about the show. Just literally dial random numbers on your phone and tell them about the show.
Yes.
But for the people who you do know, also tell them about the show. And then also, if you haven't already, give us a sub on our Patreon, patreon.com/Habibi Bros. We want to make sure Jay can quit his job. And with your support, we can make that possible. I'm basically riding on Ernie's coattails right here and managing his presidency. Too. Yeah. So help us feed Ernie, this thick boy. He needs it. So,
Axios, play the song out. Play the song.
Play the
song out. Do it.
We playing
Do
it?
it. Yeah, Axios. You know he owns us. Do it.
I got the vaccine. You got the vaccine. They got the vaccine. We got the vaccine. We can get back to normal. Let me inform you. Let's all get the vaccine. It's about community immunity. I'm talking unity for you and me. If Doc says it's good, then trust me, it's good. Now let's all get the vaccine. Alright, there is none higher. DMC, I will inspire. Time for us to trust and not debate. The vaccine, believe it's safe to take. 9 out of 10 people won't get sick. That's 90% effective and legit. This COVID thing is real and it will find you. It's killing our people. Let me remind you. Back in the days, there was polio, smallpox. Back in the days, measles and mumps, man. Back in the days, but because of the vaccines, none of those saved. Vaccines, they work to trigger immunity. 2 shots, we got antibody security. We gotta act now. No need to wait. Get your vaccine before it's too late. For real.
God, it's so good. It never stops being fucking a fucking jam. Anyways, Habibis, that does it for us, for the Habibi Bros. I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Jay Kobbe.
And this has been Habibi Power Hour. I love you all, Habibis. Hope you all have a good night. Let me sit up because I'm about to do this again. Peace. Masalama.